Welcome to this new section, Regression, Concepts and Models. Here, we are going to talk about the concepts we need to build predictive models for regression tasks. This is mostly a conceptual section, but believe me, we need a firm grasp on the concepts to build good predictive models. So, let's see what we are going to learn in this section. In the first video, we will talk about Scikit-Learn, which is the library we will use to build predictive models. Then we will talk about the three models that we will use in the next section to build models to make predictions. The first one is the multiple regression model, which is the foundation for many other models in machine learning and statistics. Then we will talk about the k-nearest neighbors model for regression. And finally, we will talk about the lasso or lasso regression, which is a clever modification to the multiple regression model that allows us to automatically do feature selection as well as something called regularization. And in the final video, we will talk about how to evaluate regression models. So, in this section, we will present the intuition behind the models that we will use in the next section to make predictions using real-world data. This is the first video in this section, and here we introduce the Scikit-Learn library. After talking a bit about this library, we will load a dataset and learn about the steps we use in Scikit-Learn to build a supervised machine learning model. By following these steps, we are going to build a simple predictive model and we will use it to make predictions. So, what is Scikit-Learn? Scikit-Learn is one of the most popular Python libraries for doing machine learning. It provides a simple and efficient set of tools for doing data modeling and analysis. It is built on top of NumPy, SciPy, and Matplotlib, and it works really nicely with pandas and the data structure of pandas, which are series and data frames. Now, we are going to see a little demonstration on how to use Scikit-Learn to build a simple predictive model. Okay, so here we are in our notebook, and what I want to focus on this notebook is in the steps that we usually follow when building a machine learning model with Scikit-Learn. So there are 5 steps that we usually follow, and the first one is to import the estimator object, also known as the model. The second step is to create an instance of that estimator, which is the object that we will use in step 3 to train with the training data. And after training, what we do is to evaluate the model using a predefined metric. And finally, when we are happy with our model, we can use it to make predictions. Of course, this 5-step recipe is just a general roadmap that may include several sub-steps, and you may need to go back and forth between steps. And there are a lot of details that need to be considered at every step. Now, however, I think this is a very nice mental model to have, and I should add another step, which is a step that I call step 0, which is data preparation, which is very important and also very time consuming. Okay, so let's import the libraries we will use, and here in this next cell I am importing one of the data sets that we will use to make predictions. Okay, so here you can see how the data set looks like. And here, what I am doing is creating 2 objects. One object called uppercase X, which contains the features, and the other object called Y, which contains the target. Okay. Now in this cell, what I am doing is using some of the Scikit-Learn tools for splitting the test into training and testing, and we will see why we do this in a future video. So for now, what I would like to focus on is in the steps for doing the modeling. So first, is to import the estimator object. So this is what we do here. We import this object called linear regression from the linear model in Scikit-Learn. Then we create an instance of an estimator. In this step is where we specify what are the hyperparameters of our model. In this case, we are using all the default values. Then we use the training data to train our estimator, and we always use the fit method to perform the training. And now our model has been trained. Then we use a set of metrics, a predefined metric, do model evaluation. So in this case, this is the evaluation metric. So I will explain in a future video what this means. And you can also use some visual tools, some visualization to see how close are the predictions to the actual values. Like you see here, we have some predictions that are kind of far away from the actually observed values. But let's say that we are happy with this model. So now we can use this object to make predictions. So here we have a new community. Let's say that we need a prediction for a community that has these characteristics. These are the features that we used in our model to train the model. And let's say that we want to predict what would be the number of violent crimes for a community with these values in the features. So we can use this object that we just trained, and we can use the predict method to with this new data that we can pass. And as you can see here, the prediction in this case is 0.3046. Okay, so for a city with data such as this, our model predicts a target value of 0.30. Okay, so these are the 5 steps that we will always follow when creating a supervised learning model with Scikit-Learn. Okay, so in this video, we learned at a high level the steps to produce a predictive model with Scikit-Learn.